Yo, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing, homies? So we got some big news coming, man. Big news. Your boy just woke up, and I'm seeing all the stuff going on. People are talking about which exchange they talking. We finna see. We finna see if they talk about exchange at all. I don't know. I'm not really expecting an exchange, but we about to see what's going on. Sebastian, what's up? How y'all doing, man? Got a nice little intro now. Okay.
All right, welcome back to another community update. Very special episode today, joined by COO and co-founder Dan Crothers, and a very special guest, our CEO and co-founder, Mr. David Yu. Welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome.
David.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on your show.
No worries at all. Look, today we've got quite a lot to get through, so we'll get straight to it. But before we get started, I just want to issue the same warning that we do every community update, and that is to please be wary of any scams. Please always go through the legitimate Ecomi website, ecomi.com, to find all of our resources, to find our exchanges, any of those things. There are fake Veve websites. There are no airdrops. We are not listed on PancakeSwap. If we can all continue to work together to put that message into the community, less people will be caught out by it. So just want to get that out there while we start. And I think today, Dan, we'll start with you just a little bit of insight into the business, why some developments take longer than expected, the interaction between the licensors and our business, and just how all that works so that people are more aware of it.
Yeah, no worries. But just before I get into that, can I just do a quick shout out to both of your guys' t-shirts? If you want to stand up, they're pretty epic.
Little bit of merch there available.
When? I've never heard that one before. When? What?
Yeah.
Dave, show us your one. You might have to say something so you can.
Dead inside.
Always.
Yeah, big shout out to everyone who does the merch. It's so funny. I've got a hashtag soon, but I wear it all the time, so it's in the wash. So I can't wear it today.
Fantastic. Yes.
But yeah, just to provide a little bit of insight into what happens on the sort of the licensing and the business side. Hang on, sorry, sorry guys, I'm just going to check it. Is my face coming up for you guys?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, as part of any business, both David and myself have been in business for 25 years, and the reality is everything always just takes a long time. Right now, we really are sort of in the midst of this NFT spotlight at the moment, and of course that has given extra scrutiny to anything around with tokens, and especially when it comes to licensors. And understandably, it's their IP moving into a very different space. So right now, even though we still have a lot of awesome announcements that we plan on releasing, with the current scrutiny around NFTs, that is just taking a little bit longer, especially when it comes to the legal side of things. Normally David and I, we're pros now at meeting these licensors. Everyone loves the product, loves the success, loves the community, and then it goes to legal. And then it generally sort of tends to sit there for a while. So, that's kind of on the licensing side. On the development side of the app, anyone who's a coder or anyone who's a developer knows that every time you release something, it just goes absolutely perfect. Not. So, at the end of the day, sometimes things just go wrong, or it gets into testing, and then we think, maybe we need to change it here or change it there, or maybe even some of the external tools or technologies we're using end up causing some roadblocks. So, at the end of the day, we actually move pretty fast as a company. I mean, where we've gone from, we got to keep in mind that it was January when we launched, and we're just coming into May. It's been an intense, wild ride for the past 4 months. I don't think Dave and I have ever got more than 5 or 6 hours sleep at night since then. So yeah, if things don't come out like, every single day, it doesn't mean that, Dave and I have just taken off on a private jet somewhere. We're still here busting our humps to roll everything out. And we'll cover off a little bit later in the video exactly what some of those things are.
Absolutely. And look, I think even more recently, people can see that our development capacity is increasing. We put out in the most recent community update that we've welcomed 6 or 7 new devs now, I think, which is really starting to see that process accelerate, which is really cool.
In fact, the CTO messaged me the other day and he's like, Dan, I've got some back-end resources free. And I was like, hallelujah. we can start diving in.
Absolutely. So we'll see some new implementations and features roll out soon, I would imagine. But we'll cover that. Now, one big community question that we have had since day one is actually about the token buybacks. I believe, David, you might have a bit of an update as to our progress on that front.
Yeah, thanks for that. Very good question. What buyback?
When? No. I think the question is. I think the question is when buyback.
Right here.
God.
When?
It's $1 million question. The ultimate, we got a couple more sign-off coming up from our accounts and legal, and we're really hoping this will be coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks within that period. So exciting time. We've got a lot of things we're implementing to ensure all that process is done correctly. And I think naturally you guys will see the buyback happen when the Omi basically just hits into our reserve wallet.
Yeah, perfect.
And I think, Dave, you were mentioning, Dave, that, really, and just so the community understands, behind the scenes, we're a real business. So, we have to get through, the first quarter, which obviously we've done. Everything's with the accountant now. And, now that we're through that, we're sort of looking forward to getting those underway.
Yeah, and I can only imagine with so many moving parts with tokens and gems and NFTs that the accounting is not an easy thing to accomplish. So,
I wouldn't want to be our accountant.
No way. But thank you to the accounting team for sorting that out. But that's really exciting news. I think the community will be really happy to hear that that's now in the works, now that we're past that optimization phase. So one other thing, David, and this may have come from an Instagram post or two, but we were expecting some exchanges to hit in May. So obviously we're at the end of the month now. Do you want to just give some insight as to what happened there and what we're looking to do on the exchange front?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest thing is I think the community is they want better access to better exchanges, to have better access to the Omi tokens, to trade them or to onboard themselves. There are some limitations on some certain exchange doesn't operate in certain jurisdictions. Now we understand the frustrations, and we understand this is a very sensitive topic. Rest assure you, number one is we do have new team members on board that is looking at all our tokens, our exchange relationships with the exchange vendors. We do have exchanges that have been executed and signed, but some of them are coming out with some technical difficulties. Both myself and Dan, we had to decide to go, well, do we go down the route of immutable coming up? As you guys probably heard early on this week, we announced moving into a ERC20 and another side. We are going to be looking at existing exchanges that already support GoChain. So some of these technical side of things, and we just have to be a bit more sensitive, and also logistically, how much resource do we put onto each of these? And we're working through these. We were hoping we have a new exchange ready, and I think there's rumors out there. I think someone showed me one of their portfolio thing when they type in it popped up. So and that exchange had some difficulties at the end, and just slight delay. But we definitely understand the frustrations and the importance of having these liquidity happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to reiterate there, some of these exchanges have had some issues with GoChain, our current blockchain provider. Obviously, the move to immutable will open us up to a lot more exchanges because integrating with ERC20 tokens is much easier than integrating a brand new chain. So once that migration happens, we have a lot more options available to us.
Okay, so I think that this is actually a good thing, to be honest. I didn't want to see another explosion right now. One, because it's just going to be built off hype, and then the hype is going to go down. So the token is going to rise and fall again anyway. We're not really going to see some substantial token rises until they get more people onto the platform. And that's why I was excited about that news yesterday where they confirmed they're going to start marketing to targeted fans of these collectibles, because right now we have all crypto bulls in the community. We don't have fans of these collectibles and fans of Veve. So now that they're actually getting the fans that's going to spend this money around the clock, that don't care about Omi to gym conversions and stuff like that. They don't care about any of that. All they're going to care about is the collectible. They're going to care about the experience. They're going to care about having and being a part of this IP that they love. Like, now that they are targeting those people, this is when the crypto bulls is going to start seeing their value. So they have just confirmed that that is coming. They're at the stages where they can now start targeting who we want on the platform. Ultimately, people have been sitting here and expecting this to go to the moon with all crypto people, which that's not who this product was built for. This product is not built for us. It's built for the people who are actually going to be using this thing around the clock. So when it comes down to the new exchanges, now that they're not expanding that, we have less crypto bulls in the community, less people excited, less hype, which means that we can keep buying in at this low price, at this low the low place that we're at right now. So yeah, this is good. This is good for me, like, especially if you're a long-term holder. Now, people who are just looking for an opportunity to get out, yeah, it may be bad for you, but I mean, hey, I don't really care. This was never short-term for me. This is 2-year minimum, 5-year mid. I'm holding for 10 years. Me personally, that's my strategy. I plan to be holding this for 10 years. So, yeah.
But of course, in the short term, we are still targeting any.
Oh, and by the way, I don't expect it to hit $1 in 10 years. I expect it to hit $1 way sooner than that. Like, I'm still very bullish on this. I just think that I'm personally one of the ones who believe that this can get to $10, which a lot of people who sit around do math and stuff like that, not doing math accurately, would say that $10 is impossible. I don't think so.
Exchange that currently lists GoChain, because that just makes it easier for us. So, look, I think that will ease people's minds in the short term, and hopefully it's not too long before we are announcing the next listing.
And Reese, I mean, if I can just add to the last part of that, I think, as I've mentioned in the last couple of videos, it is, yeah, I just don't want the community to think that we are just basically sitting on our butts. I mean, as I say, the last 3 months has been insane. I think everyone can see now that the drops are running so perfectly smooth, and that was a very intense time to get through for all of that sort of re-engineering. So now that we're back, all of that's kind of done. We can really continue to roll ahead with everything we're doing.
Absolutely. Look, I think the vast majority of our community understands all of that, and they understand how hard we are working. And I mean, we've just had one of the biggest weeks of announcements to date, with some of these, which we'll touch on later. So I think everybody can see us working. Obviously, we're trying to bring everything together as quickly and seamlessly as possible, but it's all coming, and we'll continue to work towards those goals. So you did just mention the drops there, Dan, and I think it's probably a good time to dive into those. They have been going incredibly well the last few weeks.
10-year investment, you're out of your mind. Have you researched the collectibles? Have you researched the collectible side of things? Do you know how long it takes for collectibles to become valuable and more valuable and things like that? This is digital collectibles. This isn't pump and dump where the project is just supposed to. This product could take 5 years to be perfect. It could take 5 years to be perfect. Like don't get it twisted. The Veveverse could just now be getting finished. Like, you know how long it took to make GTA? They're trying to create an entire Veveverse and a whole experience around this. I'm not saying that we won't be able to enter the Veveverse for 5 years. I'm saying that before they even finish everything to their vision, it could be 5 years before that happens. So what you have to understand is, with a project like this, they're going to be continuing to bring value. This is a business. This is not a regular crypto. So yes, I have invested in the Veve business, the Ecomi business. I understand that they're forward thinking, and honestly, it may take 5 years before like a huge amount of people even understand what NFTs are. So we're gonna have a whole nother like NFT rush, like that. A whole nother NFT rush is coming, where people just now realizing what NFTs is and why they're so valuable. We had one this year, and that could be another like that could work like bull cycles and things like that, bull and bear cycles. So we might see new NFT people at some point. So I think that 10 years, that's honestly lowballing it for me. It's like I'm not. I like passing these things down could be very valuable in the future. People are not really seeing the real vision. Like passing this down to your kids, passing this down to your kids' kids. This is like those old comic books and collectible cards that you find from your grandpa in the attic somewhere, and you just pull it out and it's worth a ton of money. That is what Veve is trying to build. That is what they're working with, these high quality licenses. That's why they're working with all people like Al Khan and things like that. They don't do things that is short term. They do things that leads to for generations, and that is what I'm invested in. I don't know why other people are investing. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people I think thought that this project was Dogecoin. Like they thought this was Dogecoin 2.0. I've never expected that coming in. Now, yeah, that's just me though.
Weeks, but some people in the community seem confused that we're not selling out, right? And I've tried to just reiterate.
You're talking about the Omi token. The Omi token is not going to start. What, like, you're separating Veve and the Omi token, and yes, it is separate. But the Omi token does not burn until Veve is successful. Veve in 10 years will still be burning the token, and in 10 years, that means the token is going to continue to go up even more in value. Like 10 years from now, that's when we're going to be seeing peak numbers of Veve's token, wherever it's at. Whether it's $1, whether it's $10, whether it rises. Like people, I've seen calculations of people talking about how it can get to 100. Like I don't know, like exactly where it's get. What I believe is realistic is guaranteed. $1 guaranteed. $10 possible. That this is where I'm thinking. This is where my mindset is. So it's just going to be starting to pop off. Like it's just going to be starting to do what it can do. Honestly. So yeah, I think that like people are going. Honestly, it's going to be a lot of people who sell at like 50 cent and then $1. Then they realize, oh wow, this company is the next company that was going to last 10 years, and they're going to be mad when the token hits what it's going to hit in 10 years, and be like, man, if I would have held this, then that. If I would have, that's why me personally, I'm buying enough to where I can sell a good amount at about $1. And then when it goes up to whatever it's going to, I'm just going to keep it there and let it go up to wherever it's going to go up to. And then that's my exit strategy personally. But then again, I know that, I know what they're trying to build. So yeah. $10, come on, man. Doubt it. You doubt it because all these crypto bulls and technical analysis people and stuff like that are telling you to doubt it. That is why you doubt it. They don't understand. This is a project meant for 10 to 20 years and more. Look up the collectible space. Look up the collectible space. This, I didn't say it was going to hit it tomorrow. And what you all have to realize is when you actually start realizing that people like to compare it to Ethereum, where the hell do you think Ethereum and Bitcoin is going to be in 10 years? Like if we go based on historically, how many bull runs is that going to go on? Like where's Ethereum, where's Bitcoin, where's all this stuff going to be 10, 20 years from now? So while people saying like $10 is not, you don't think that that's real, what? Even the big boys is going to be way farther along than they are today. But people don't look at crypto projects like that because most cryptos don't even have projects. Cryptos don't really have anything like Veve has. Like Veve only has an actual project backing it. A lot of cryptos don't. All cryptos really have is people talking. People talking about why it's going to be the greatest, the next big thing. Veve has proof that this is going to be the next big thing. It's a difference. Does this coin not have like 750 billion tokens? No, it's more like around like 190 billion. And also, this is a project where all of these fan bases, all of these licenses, they can dip into a pool of millions and millions of people. They can dip into a pool of millions and millions of people. So if you have 100 million people on the platform, you're going to burn less Omi, but still the amount of people on the platform burning Omi is still going to be burning a lot of Omi. So the tokenomics is set up in a way where now that the price is super, super low, we're burning a lot of Omi, but still when we get a ton of people on this platform, it's still going to be burning a bunch of Omi. So the burns, it's not going to be as bad as people think, because this project has the potential to get more real people than any crypto in the world. And no crypto can do what Veve is doing. No crypto has the access to these licenses. So that's what people are not really factoring in. You look now, let's say something like Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. Let's say that had to get like 180 billion tokens burned. That would be a problem. You're not convincing that many people to have those type of burn. You're just not doing it. But when it comes down to this, with all these licenses, it is realistic that we can see hundreds of millions of people here actively using this product and seeing crazy Omi burns. So, yeah. My realistic value. Listen, bro, you saying your realistic value should be $1. If that's your realistic target, then you choose for that to be your target. I'm not gonna sit here and argue. Like I said, I told you my strategy. I don't give a shit about convincing you. Once this shit hits my targets, I'm gonna be perfectly fine. You can get out, you can go to Dogecoin, go to Shiba Inu. I don't give a shit. This is your money. You do what you want with your money. I'm gonna do what I want with mine. So as long as you want to stay living in your fantasy, your dream world, where you believe what you believe, then you do that. I'll follow the facts that I know. So I don't really, no point in trying to convince me.
To people that the goal isn't actually to sell out of collectibles each time, and we want some content in the store. So David, as the man who usually decides or has a big hand in deciding the edition numbers, maybe you can dive into that and just talk about the plan we have with the store and how we're producing that content.
Yeah, so
you're not realistic, bro. Honestly, I'm not going to keep addressing you all. You all don't realize the power of licensing. You realize what makes Pokemon so profitable? The licensing side of things. Pokemon makes its money in licensing out its product. So many people said, like, when people were when I was talking about how it's realistic that we could see Pokemon come to Veve, people were saying, oh, why wouldn't Pokemon just make its own thing? Pokemon never makes its own thing. It licenses itself out, and that is what these brands do. They license themselves out. They have exclusive licenses with Veve, like not Pokemon, but the companies that Veve is actually securing has exclusive licenses with them, and they have these are the biggest brands in the world. Do you not think that in 20 years, these brands will continue to go up in value? Veve and these collectibles will continue to go up in value. Do you know what a collectible is? Like, the problem is a lot of you all are crypto bulls. You coming into this community thinking that a collectible is a new asset is only going to be valuable for a year or two or something like that. Like, what type of you're not a collector. You don't really understand this space. You're coming in here looking for a quick flip, trying to make some quick money and easy money, and not understanding what you're investing in. Go to Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. Go to something that's more your speed that you can actually wrap your head around, because clearly you're not a collector. A collector will collect anything with their favorite brand's name on it. Omi will be a scam coin to line the pockets of the owners. Like, that absolutely makes no sense. They've had the opportunity numerous times to blow this thing up, and they're the ones who shut it down and put a lid on it. You all are just sitting here lying, and you're trying to convince the community of lies, and it's weird. It's very weird that so many of you come together. Like, if you believe that, you would shut the hell up and get out of the community. Why are you here commenting on Omi videos? Why are you here talking to this community? You're trying to bring other people on board the hate train. But when it starts moving and when you all are proven to not know what you're talking about, then what? You're just here spreading lies around the community for no reason. People like you all are sickening. Like, I really don't get it. He's hyping it. No, I'm talking about facts. What I talk about is 100% facts. He's hyping it. No, I'm smarter than you. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not smarter than you. You're a fucking idiot if you don't see the potential in this project. If you do not see what they're trying to do and what they're actually building and what they already have planned out, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm the one guy who will tell you that. Like, what reason do I have to hype it? My money is in this. My money is in this, and whatever I say right now is not about to boost the coin. I know what is going to boost the coin, and Veve is now starting to take the steps to boost this coin. I'm not here to placate anyone. I'm not here to make you feel good or anything like that. I'm here to make sure my investment is doing well. Which is, and the second that I see signs that my investment is not going the way that I want it to be, I am going to be the first one to speak about that. But as of now, everything is going perfectly. And I'm just honest about that. You all got in too early, not realizing what you were investing in, and now you're bitching because you're a shitty investor. Grow the fuck up. You made a bad investment. You didn't know what you were investing in. You thought this was Dogecoin. It turned out to be an actual business. That does not mean bring everybody else down. Just accept that you're a fucking idiot, shut up, and stop commenting on videos. I don't need you here. None of the other YouTubers need you all here hating. Just shut up. It's like, well, why are you here? And I never said every collectible is going to be worth money. I never said that. But when they start announcing these bigger brands, you're saying none of the collectibles are going to be worth money? Yes, there's going to be shit that people collect that's absolutely worthless. Yes. But even those is going to be valuable to somebody. Everybody's not just looking for a flip. And that is exactly who they are targeting now. They have just confirmed that they're targeting people who are not just looking for a flip now. They're targeting people who love these brands. They're targeting people who want to have ownership of some of these brands. Like, you look at shit in terms of, oh, what can I get out of this? What can I get if I buy this? The people that they're getting on the platform now is looking at it like, oh, it's Batman. I want this. Let me have this. Let me hold this. Let me have my kid play with this for years. This is the people we're getting in the community. This is why you assholes here talking crazy don't fucking matter. You're why do you think I can openly talk to you and tell you that I don't give a shit about you? I don't need you. This project doesn't need you. I don't need your money. This project doesn't need your money. Like, you're 100% irrelevant. So I can tell you the truth and wouldn't care. Listen, man. I mean, you don't have to understand the vision. You don't have to see it. But it's just, the facts will never change. And the problem is, like, I'm not expecting a lot of people to see it. I'm not expecting you haters to see it. I'm really not expecting you to see it. Because if everyone could see these things, if everybody could see opportunity before it happens, Al Khan would not have the history and the resume that he has. David Yu would not have this history and resume that he has. These guys would not be such outliers in the business world if everybody could see the vision, because everybody would be making the same type of decisions and making the same type of moves that this company is making. The reason that nobody is doing what Veve is doing and what Ecomi is doing is because visionaries are very, very rare in this world. And honestly, visionaries only do common sense shit. Like, look at Elon Musk, for instance. Taking a car, taking it from gas, and making it electric. The most common sense shit in the world. Yet he's the only one who put the pieces in place to make that shit happen. Visionaries only do common sense shit. Everybody's life, like, you spend the majority of your fucking day on the phone. It only makes sense that the world is going to move to, and collectibles and everything people care about is going to move to virtual at some point. This is all common sense. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to convince you. What I'm saying is, if you don't believe in the project, leave and stop wasting your time. Like, stop wasting your time, stop wasting my time. Like, stop wasting everybody's time. Like, what are you doing? But anyway,
you know, it is a very much a scarcity in how we design the architecture behind what a collectible, how many we mint. And, you know, 25 years in trading card, you know, collectible business, I 100% understand why, There's many key areas that we need to consider as a business going forward. Is that when you come to a store, you do need to have inventories. We have continued to see inflood of people buying multiple, so we have put pressure on how many commons people can buy. So one instance, when you restrict how many commons, the sale of commons will reduce. We do have massive events coming up. We have marketing, advertising going out. Right now, we haven't started pushing our ads. Once we start pushing ads, if we start onboarding all these new users, we do not want them to go into a store with nothing to purchase. And what our user really need to understand is that we understand collectability and the scarcity. A common could be ultra rare or even rare than rare out there. Why?
Thank you. David Yu is saying the stuff that's important right now. David Yu is saying the stuff that's important right now, and this is why I like him. I understand this stuff. He just said a common could be worth more than an ultra rare. What people are not understanding. Oh, by the way, thank you, Majestic. Thank you for the donation. I definitely appreciate that. Let me turn this stuff on for y'all so you can see everything. My bad. But he just said a common could be worth more than an ultra rare. And people don't realize this. People are sitting here selling their NFTs and stuff in a platform where only crypto bulls are there. This is why what they're doing is absolutely stupid. They're selling their stuff before the people out here who's willing to buy it and spend all this money is even on the platform. People are saying Veve is over before anyone who's supposed to be on Veve is even on Veve. As far as I'm concerned, we probably have like 1,000 people on Veve that actually is here for Veve. The majority of the community and the majority of people in the platform is all here for flips and gains and crypto. That is not who Veve was built for. Why do you think crypto is so deeply hidden that an average person would not know that it even exists when it comes to Veve? But hey, I digress. I hope we get DBZ. Yeah, DBZ would be pretty cool, man. I definitely would love to see that. Let me see.
We understand collectability and the scarcity. A common could be ultra rare or even rare than rare out there. Why? We will eventually retire these collectible once they don't sell in a certain time period. So we do, and I think coming up we might even put little signs to say this is a time release or something on it. People understand. We never designed the business to be a sell out on every day, every drop. Even the largest retail fashion, Supreme, for example, the key product sells out and they will always have merchandise when you still go into the store. We need to practice that. And I also see a massive, secondary inflation. And, it's our job to ensure when we onboard new users to Veve, they are getting a great experience instead of they are constantly being priced out and constantly feel that they're over-exhausted, try to work the key elements that we take into consideration before we just go and mint. So please do not think if it doesn't sell out, it's a bad thing or this is over. This is a nascent industry we're in. We are just entering into something quite exciting, and we want to make sure everyone has a chance to own something.
Absolutely. Yeah, I used a similar example. If you walked into a hobby store or a gaming store and the shelves were empty every time you walked in, you'd stop going back. There's no need to go there, right? And I think that our store needs to be treated the same way. And yes, it's exciting to sell out, and everybody then assumes the value of their collectible is now higher. But from a new user perspective, there has to be content in the store, especially as we're onboarding. So I think that's a good thing to touch on and just to remind people of as well as we move forward. And ultimately, I mean, with all the brands and licenses we have on board, there's a lot of content coming. That there will be truly something for everyone, and I think that opens access to all fans and fandoms. So it's a crucial part of the ecosystem. Now, Dan, Another crucial part of the ecosystem is obviously the Omi token. Everybody is wondering what the plan is there. We are desperately trying to return utility to the token. And obviously we've been trying to deal with an MTL or find the best system for that. And now that Veve is becoming an open ecosystem, which was not part of the original design, we're going to offer some new implementations for that. So do you want to dive into the new token utilities and how people can interact with that?
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned earlier, behind the scenes, David and I are always working on, multiple aspects of the business. And obviously a key part of that is around the token utility. So, one thing that I'm actually really excited about is that in the secondary market, we will very soon be opening that up to Omi listings. So to really add that extra utility to the Omi, sellers will have the option to either list in gems or in Omi, or in gems or Omi. Now, some people might be saying, why are we keeping gems in there? Well, for the reason being is that this is a mass market product. Now, one of the cool things about the ability to list your items in the secondary market in Omi is, number one, you can choose, I only want to deal with Omi users. And why? Because it's going to be great for the ecosystem. People will be buying, selling, trading. You want to get that golden moogly in the secondary market. Maybe that's way easier for you if you have Omi, or if you've been collecting Omi over the past couple of months or years. So that's really cool. So the way that's going to work is that you can list it in Omi. The user will then come in and click buy. If you have decided that you want to you want to give the offer of either gems or Omi, then the user will be able to choose at that point of purchase in the secondary market. However, let's just say that they're going to be purchasing an Omi. It'll be very, very simple. They'll basically hit the buy now button. It will obviously check the buyer's wallet, and then once they confirm that, it'll basically send the Omi from the buyer to the seller's wallet, and that's the wallet that will be associated with your Omi account. So I think this is an awesome first step into our really bringing back a lot of the token utility. I think, as I've mentioned in the past couple of videos, this is definitely something that we are absolutely conscious of and focusing on. And then in the coming future, we will also start to do that in the primary market as well. So you can use your Omi to buy collectibles in the primary market. However, there are some caveats on that, and that it will be a percentage of collectibles that get sold. Why? For the reason being is that with every collectible that we sell in the primary market, there is associated expenses that we have to pay as a company. Number one, the new collectibles that we have coming, the epic ones, they're not cheap, so we have to cover the cost. We've also got to pay for licensing fees, and then on top of that, of course, is all of the just the general admin. As you mentioned, Reese, our team is growing, and much to Dave's disgrace, so is the staff bill. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good step. We basically, you can just go straight from Omi to NFT, which is the ultimate utility for the token. Now, one of the other things that I want to bring up just while discussing this point is obviously the ability to cash out gems. So again, David and I have been finalizing all of our final plans around that, and we hope to have that in place very soon. We've sort of finalized the structure, how it's going to work. And one part of that is, of this, because as Reese mentioned, cashing out was never part of the original sort of model that we had. So, when we add something like this in, we need to, really do an analysis to make sure everything's working. Now, one of the issues is that right now, for every gem we have in the system, we have $1. And that works perfectly. You cash out a gem, you get that $1. Where the problem in that, in the current model comes in, is that if I send an Omi and I convert that to gems, then all of a sudden that balance goes out of whack. We'll have way more gems in the system than we do actually have dollars to pay out for if someone wants to cash out. Now, we could continue on that model, but the issue is that people that any Omi that comes in and would be converted to gems, we will then have to sell down that Omi in order to get the dollars back that we've just sent out to a user. And I'm sure, you know, anyone who's kind of au fait with tokenomics can understand that, you know, we've got a massive user base now. And if we are constantly having to, you know, sell down Omi, that's going to put the wrong pressure on the tokenomics and the token model. And this is the exact reason that we've thought, you know what, let's just go straight to Omi to NFT, because it keeps the utility absolutely in place. It still allows our users to cash out in gems. And you've got to remember, you know, you might buy something in the primary market in Omi, you might then sell it in for gems in the secondary market, and then you still have the ability to cash out. So this is a much more rounded, you know, far more balanced kind of ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think people will understand we don't want to put all of that sell pressure onto the token. Now, what are we looking at in terms of a timeline for the ability to buy, you know, to be able to cash out from gems with that float? Is that something that's coming with the web platform? Is that something that's coming as a soon integration?
Yeah, so the web platform is well underway, and you know, I've got to be honest with you guys, I'm actually very excited. You know, in the beginning, you know, I was so passionate about the actual mobile app because, you know, we've spent so long working on that and really honed it into the, you know, the product that it is now. And so, but as we started building out the web platform, I mean, like, you know, I've just realized, like, this is, you know, it's going to be epic. I mean, even just the ability to use the showroom to place items in there, you know, moves things around, like everything's just so much easier, you know, when you've got this much sort of wider platform. Obviously, you know, if you still want to enjoy the AR and that side of the app, which I'm sure people absolutely will, because, you know, you're never going to carry your computer around when you're outside to do some AR. But so all of those features will still remain in the app. But, yeah, I'm really excited about getting the web platform up. So in terms of timelines, you know, we're still kind of in the midst of it at the moment. So, you know, we're working very, very hard and we want to have it out as fast as we can. But, you know, I don't want to promise anything now because that is a big beast of a platform. Is everything.
If you all are wondering what this is in Dan's background, some of this stuff, this is stuff from Ron English, the new partner that they just announced on Twitter, the new artist that's going to be bringing his stuff on. This is some of his works in the background right here. So no, I don't think this is stuff that's going to be coming to Veve. But Ron English is going to have. I forgot what it looks like. Some of this might be coming, but yeah, Ron English. This is some of his stuff. So yeah, and obviously some of the other partners that they have. But this big stuff that everyone's noticing, that's Ron English's work right here.
Thing that's in the app going onto the web. Obviously, we're motivated to get it out there very quickly. And, you know, we're cranking through the developments on our side.
Absolutely. Look, I think that just opens so many more options opens us up to a wider audience. You still get to carry your collectibles around in your pocket and interact with them that way, so you can show off to your friends, but then you have much more usability and functionality once you have the power of a computer behind you as well. So
for those of you all wondering why the Omi token is so weird right now, why it's so up and down, the Omi token as it currently stands, there's over 100 billion in circulation, which means that the little things that Veve does is not going to you can't really keep this token too high as long as there's so many in circulation. The coin is not going to be valuable with that many in circulation. What has to happen is burns have to happen, then buybacks and stuff like that has to start happening in order for Omi to actually gain value. When Omi goes up in value, it's really off hype. It's just hype. It's not that the token is that valuable, it's that it's hyped up to the point where people believe that it's that valuable. Similar to a Dogecoin. Dogecoin is not providing that amount of value that is valued at. It's just people believe that Dogecoin can hit that value one day, and that's why they're valuing it there. So Veve is not really the token is not really going to be based around this. Like, the token is really going to start moving once we get those burns from people actually using Veve. This is why we need millions and millions of people on Veve to start getting where we want, so that token gets to burning. We need this token burning like crazy. This is why it's important that we have more content. This is why it's important that they get the Veveverse out and things like that, because the Veveverse is going to be helping with these burns. And that's why technical analysis and things like that don't work, because we don't know anything about what the Veveverse is going to be burning. Like, for all we know, the Veveverse could burn way more Omi than the actual drops, and like, we just don't know, because customizations and things like that in Fortnite, a lot of that stuff, like, that's the stuff that actually they make all their money off of, selling skins and selling stuff like that. Like, that's what all the money in Fortnite comes from. So if you can buy a regular NFT on the platform, then take it into the Veveverse, you can customize it, buy upgradables, buy your own land and things like that, upgrade your land. Like, that could easily generate way more money than even what we're seeing from the marketplace and things like that. So that's why it's so important that that stuff comes. So the token isn't going to start moving until we see some incredible amount of burns, and that won't happen until we onboard more people. So yeah, that's why it's not like going to be the token. Like, don't look for the token to be moving right now in the short term. Like, that's don't care. The only thing you need to do is have a price point to where you want to buy more if you're a long-term investor, and then just buy it at whatever price you think is right for you. But don't expect it to go up too crazy. When it goes up too crazy, expect it to come back down always. So yeah,
I think whenever that hits, will be a pretty exciting day for sure. So, now, gentlemen, David, I believe you have some pretty exciting news to share with people. I know a lot of people are waiting to hear about some of our marketing initiatives and our plans. How are we going to get Veve into the hands of consumers? I'm pretty happy to have held this one in for a while. So if you would like to share a little bit of news we have.
Yeah, thanks, Reese. So it is quite important that the business overall, we get new users onboarding, and that's where you create the meerkat effect, where, you know, people are networking, people are sharing things. And, you know, last year's been very hard. A lot of the expos all been cancelled. And this year, we've been invited and team up with the largest Comic-Con in the world, San Diego Comic-Con 2021. That's happening over July 23rd to 25th. This year is going to be running through virtual. And we've got great excitement of lineup of products that will be launching exclusively for the show. So, you know, hopefully, you know, our audience will participate in this massive. There will be new brands coming on board, new collectibles, new limited edition. There will be pretty much, for the comic fans out there, there'll be something for everyone. So please do keep your eye out. And in the coming weeks, we will be sending out banners on our website, our Twitter, our social media, same as the Comic-Con.
For those of you crypto bulls out here looking to get a quick return and quick flips and things like that, this is at the point where you should start trying to sell your comics, like the Ultraman covers and things like that. Once this event is going on and we're onboarding all these Comic-Con fans, that like this is why stuff is not selling in the marketplace, because now they're starting to strategically partner, and this is the stuff that's going to bring value. So we get a bunch of comic book fans on there. It makes sense to try to sell your comic stuff. Then when a Batman movie comes out, then it makes sense to try to list your Batman stuff to sell it. Like, you're gonna, like, this is the type of environment that they're gonna be building in the future. This is more stuff like this is what's to come. They have always been talking about this type of stuff being in the plans, and this is why when people just upset that their stuff is in the store and stuff and not selling, things are cheaper and stuff like that in the secondary market. It's like this is just getting started. We're in the early stages, and we're 4 months in to something that's supposed to last between like 5 and 20 years plus, and people are complaining that 4 months in everything is like not up to their expectations. It's weird. Like, but this is huge news. So Veve going to Comic-Con, this is going to be insane.
Website will be talking about it. And it will be virtual this year. So what other way to really buy NFT collectible through Veve on the show? So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And
and keep in mind, Comic-Con people, they're collectors. So this is big. Them having a show at Comic-Con and people being able to buy Veve stuff on the spot. You know how many users we're going to get just from them being at Comic-Con, and how, like, these are actual people who go to Comic-Con all the time, actual people who collect. This is people who are going to buy this stuff and hold it for years and years and years. we're about to get a flood of people from Comic-Con. We're about to get a flood of actual collectors. This is insane for anyone who's a VV investor, like, which is damn near all of us here right now. Like, most of us were not collectors before we found VV. So the people who are going to be buying this stuff, they're getting them on now. This is what we've been waiting for.
Our very astute community members found the Comic-Con exclusive tag the same way we do first appearance or first edition. Will we be seeing some CE tags for this event?
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully, we're still lining up the collectible. We just have so many studio want to participate. We do want to fine tune and select the best items to go on sale. So, yeah, they will have a San Diego Comic-Con or event exclusive on it. So do keep an eye out. It could be a Veve exclusive, a VE on it. So yeah, we're quite excited to bring that out.
Absolutely. Oh, that's definitely a motivator for people to join the conference. So I think.
But plus, also, Reese, if I can just add to that, obviously Comic-Con, especially San Diego, that is literally the biggest event when it comes to pop culture. So, as well as all of the, awesome stuff that we're going to be announcing, it literally exposes Veve to literally our core audience when it comes to pop culture. I mean, there's still, we've got 300,000 odd users, but, at the end of the day, there are millions of fans out there into pop culture. And where do they all go? They go to Comic-Con San Diego. So this is going to be, a massive amount of exposure for the product. And to be honest, this is also the reason that why we want stock in the store, because there's going to be a lot of new users coming in, and that's obviously we want them to be able to have cool stuff that they can purchase.
Absolutely. Oh, and just to be able to hear the name, download the app in a matter of seconds, and start to explore Veve. We want to be able to have that impact on the new user base. So yeah, I think that's that should get some miles going for sure. So, gents, this week we had some huge announcements. Mr. Ron English coming on board. I know we've been holding on to that one for a while. And David, I believe you have a bit of prior history with Ron. Do you want to dive into how this came to be and maybe share some details about the release as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing announcement, and it's what most audience doesn't understand is that these things takes number of years to QA together. When you find a great project, you need to dive in. You want to bring out different levels of collectability. I mean, Ron's going to be bringing in his immersed world of collectibles and figurines that he has designed. I have known and collected of Ron's work since 2009. I started with One Piece. Like any collectible things, the taste is very different. Ron is a very propaganda, street artist, pop art. And what really intrigued me with his work is, I find things interesting when that product or that artwork speaks to me in differently. And when you put a group of them together, they become a topic people talk about, people want to know what is with this artist. This Ron series that we're doing, we're not just releasing this one-off things you saw on the news, on social media. We're going to be bringing things that's going to be a lower price so people can have access to it. But this specific piece I'm going to be showing you guys today is going to be amazing. So number one, for all your diamond hands out there, I mean, we need to give you a pair of gloves because it's so dangerous. If you got a diamond hand, you pretty much have to put this on or you're going to scratch it. Okay? So
I love the props. That's great.
I see David wearing these.
Agent Club comes with it.
He wears these all the time.
Yeah. Wow.
Here we go.
That's so cool.
So it's fully chrome. It's quite heavy. So you don't want to scratch it. It's almost like a mirror. Like I say, you do want to have a pair of glass if you're a diamond hand.
That's fire.
Here we go.
So it's a solid sculpture, right? We're talking about.
Yeah. And this one comes.
Yeah, he just confirmed that it's going to be possible to buy collectibles with Omi. He just confirmed that's going to be coming. That's in the plans. I mean, David, like the way he's passionate about collecting. Honestly, I never got into collecting stuff like buying paintings and things like that. But the way he talks about it, you can hear the passion and tell the passion. It's like, dang, that's inspiring. Like I see, I see why he's so passionate about this project, man. They all light up when it comes to talking about this stuff. So me, somebody who never has been in the world of collecting, like I definitely appreciate hearing them speak about it, even if I have never got into it myself.
It's in a beautiful
that's
big
fire.
box. Inside, it's going to have a certificate, have your own number signed by Ron, and more importantly, is that it's going to have your blockchain ID for your NFT. Now, something I really want the audience to understand. Myself and Dan, we got into this business doing NFT. This non-fungible is not just really about tokens. Artwork can be a non-fungible. And this is just a way for collectors to have a piece of real artwork in there. They also have one in their mobile phones or tablet. They can walk around and show it to their friend. And I'm going to expect that we're going to see a lot of great photos of this rabbit grim basically in many famous places and share through socially. It is going to be 100 silver cron and 100 gold one. They will drop in different days. We haven't decided on the price and how we're going to do it, if it's going to be raffle or if it's going to be some sort of website exclusive. So we're working on that, and when the time is ready, we will be announcing it. And it is very likely we will drop a couple small other releases from Ron's run to the public before this.
Okay, amazing. And I'm probably right in assuming that not all of Ron's works will come with a physical piece, right? We'll be doing digital only releases as well.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Perfect. Just you did just touch on the edition numbers we're doing there. Do you want to just give some people a bit more insight into how we do choose, which collectibles become ultra rare or which ones become uncommon, how we decide on the edition numbers, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and to be very honest to every collector out there, there's no most favorite and least favorite. If we were going to do that, we'll be releasing one piece every week. Everything is going to be rare or ultra rare. It's very hard for myself and Daniel to sit down and try to piecemeal everything together. I mean, this week's drop is amazing. Every single one is the first appearance. And every single time we want to try something a little bit different. And you've seen that in season 1. The whole idea of season 1 is that we try and be edgy and try a brand star and the lower pricing, something for everyone. And the ultra rare and the rare, they don't just really get produced simply because they look better or they don't. The fact that is that they all first appearance. I mean, if this week's drop we only have one first appearance, and that they could be ultra rare. I mean, it really, we choose them based on popularity. That's what we know from our licensed partners, what is selling well, and basically we ensure that mintage run satisfy everybody. And it's no good if you have the most famous characters and you only mint 500 of it, because you're just going to have 35,000 angry customers going, well, I want one. And we really do want to ensure that, the inflation, like I mentioned earlier on the video, is that price doesn't just get out of reach overnight. No collectibles basically should be priced at one price and become inflated next day. If it does, it means myself and Daniel, we priced the collectible wrong. We should be pricing at $5,000 each for all these ultra rares. They should not be like that. They should be, accessible. And I do understand, there are many ways of people collecting the serial number, the edition numbers. If they like Batman, black and white, they go for all that. And coming up, many more releases we got coming. They're all going to have different type of run. As we mentioned, right now the commons are larger run because we do have to get ready for these big events that we have coming up.
Yep, absolutely. And you did touch on this earlier. for anyone who has been around since Veve actually launched, they've probably seen a lot of different pricing iterations and different edition numbers. And do the both of you feel like we've learned the lessons we needed to in season 1 and we're more prepared for it now?
Yeah. I mean, when we still got a few collectible we haven't released, right? That's a secret rare. We got the Ghost Trap, and then you want to talk a little bit about our experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, generally each week, to be completely transparent with you guys, Dave and I will always have a call early on in the week, and we're like, okay, we're dropping this. And then every time, I've got one idea in mind about what the additions are, and then Dave's got another idea. So it's generally like a couple of days of arguing about how many additions there should be. And then at the end of the day, we kind of sort of settle on what the final number is. But, in terms of learning, I think we deal with so many different brands, and so many of those different brands have different popularities. I mean, like, for example, some of the drops we've done that, I thought might have been a little bit more low key have completely sold out in a matter of minutes. And then other drops that I thought, wow, they're so cool that they're going to go, and, they don't sell. So at the end of the day, I mean, David and I mean, I'm not really including myself in this. David's the collectible expert. But, we base it on a lot of different things, including what's happening out there in the real world, how many of those collectibles might have sold in a physical version, how popular the artist is. One of the things that we have, really sort of finalized, or I guess made a little bit more of a common format, is always to do with the pricing. And I'm not saying that, the pricing might be a bit different in the future, but for the most part, if you're going to get an ultra rare, it's going to be 89. A common is going to be 39. And this is of our premium line statues. The very detailed stuff like, what we're seeing in the last drop of DC. And then we've got our other tier of pricing, which you would have seen in Cryptkins and Tokidoki and so forth. So will the edition numbers continue to change? 100% more than likely. And, even as we get on more and more users into the platform, we have to remember that when you're dealing with a global audience of billions of people, that is going to have some effect and some impact. And I've had a few conversations with people in Discord around this as well. We can't be offering 5,000 Batmans, on a worldwide audience when we potentially have millions of users in the future.
Yep, absolutely.
You said billions of people, by the way.
But we really do have a lot of different types of collector or fan, whether they're here for a specific brand or, and everybody operates within their own price points and comfortability there. So it's really good to be able to offer a range of collectibles from a range of price points and open that experience to as many people as we can, really. So it's a good little bit of insight there. So I'm sure people will appreciate that. And you also shared some good insights this week, Dan, on a bit of a panel with Kevin Smith, the man. And
yes,
this was put on by Rand & Cohen's parent company. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So Rand & Cohen, or RNC PMK, they are our PR company. Really, really top group of people over there. I love meeting with them every week because they've got so many good ideas, and just, amazing that they can have just got such good reach in so many different areas. So their parent company was basically doing a live panel to both their internal team, their wider sort of customers, and then also sort of agencies and so forth that they're involved. Why? Because everyone wants to know what's going on with NFTs, and more importantly, how can they start to get into that space? So of course I was saying, well, Veve is the best way to get into that space. But of course, but really the whole thing around the panel was really just about just educating people a bit more about how brands can move into the space. And it was really cool that the guest of honor, so to speak, was Kevin Smith. I've obviously been a big fan of Kevin Smith, since way back in the Jay and Silent Bob days. And obviously, he's been a very successful director and artist and so forth. It was cool. He was just basically talking about his experience, with NFTs. He's dropped a few things in NFTs, and where he kind of thinks it's going in the future, and what really what artists can and film directors like himself can sort of expect to gain from it.
Yeah, it really is a testament to just how much the NFT industry is making it into mainstream awareness, and you know, we're day one here, you know, even with what we're doing, but the whole industry, like it's, yeah, the capabilities of non-fungible tokens and what they can be linked to, and yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible to watch the whole industry evolve as we move forward. So, yeah, and what a great event, you know. Am I right in assuming that was targeted more at the industry as opposed to the individual?
Absolutely, yeah. It was more, well, at least that's my opinion, yeah, that it was really a panel about how to educate, I guess, kind of more of the key people out there who ultimately are going to be selling these, or at least advising their clientele on, you know, how to move into the NFT space. Like I mentioned, there are a bunch of agency people there, and obviously they're working with their own clientele on moving into many different areas, and obviously NFT is sort of the hot thing right now.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think we'll continue to be. You know, I mean, we're only going to see the ongoing digitization of industries around the world, and non-fungible tokens provide that access. So it's an exciting time to be in it, that's for sure. So all right, what else did we do this week then? We had Ron English. You had that panel. Of course, we announced that we are moving to immutable, which I am a very happy chappy about. Do you want to dive into that, Dan, and just give us some insight into the decision and what people can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, this has been a long time coming. You know, David and I have been, you know, meeting with all of the top players in the space, and you know, we're sort of blessed enough at this time in 2021 that there are a lot of good options out there, and it was very difficult to kind of choose who might be the better one. But you know, for us, it came down to like really a key few things, which is, you know, number one, it needs to be gasless. For the reason being is that, you know, we've already minted in the first few months of operation, we've already minted more than 500,000 NFTs. I don't want to be paying $30 every time I mint an NFT, because then there's going to be no Veve.
Yeah.
So gasless was a huge thing. The other kind of key factor now is environmental friendliness. And you know, that's something that always comes up with our licensors. And you know, there's still a lot of misinformation out there, really, around environmentally friendly blockchains. I don't think people understand that there is a huge spectrum of them, you know, where some are less and some are more. So they obviously tick that box. Number three is, you know, we are very strong believers that this digital collectible or NFT industry is here to stay, and a part of that is interoperability. You know, even talking to our licensors now, they're becoming, you know, far more aware, you know, of how the NFT space works, and a lot of them, you know, want to be interoperable. And I know Veve is a walled garden now, and I've mentioned why in a number of our previous videos, but you know, the future will be far more open. And so for us, it's making sure that you know, when we do release these, you know, our precious little collectibles out into the open, that they are going to have you know, interoperability with a lot of other platforms. And you know, I mean, it's just my personal opinion that I think that you know, Ethereum is one that has been around for so long. It is such a common standard. You know, there are solutions in place now, like Layer 2, that are getting around a lot of the issues that Ethereum has at the moment. And I believe that a lot of those issues is really just a matter of time till they get solved. And then lastly, well, two last things actually, you know, is that Veve is a very complex app. You know, it's multiple apps in one. And, you know, really what we need is a technology partner who can integrate with everything else that we have in the product. And I just really felt that Immutable was a great partner for that in terms of a technology provider. And obviously, you know, if you guys don't know, they're Immutable is backed Gods Unchained, you know, the biggest blockchain game, and obviously it's even leaked over into you know, the mainstream. So yeah, I mean, really good team, and of course they're from down under, like all of us. So you know, gotta give props to the hood.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think immutable is the best choice we could have made, and I second your opinion that Ethereum is here to stay. It has the biggest network effects. It already has all of the biggest industries built on top of it. NFTs started on Ethereum. DeFi's there. It just opens us up to a much bigger ecosystem and more capabilities there. So yeah, and as we touched on earlier, will help us to list the Omi token on more exchanges too. That really opens that part of the ecosystem. Yeah, I think,
yeah, and actually just to touch on that, Reese, yeah, so anyone who has Omi, you don't need to worry, like it's not going to disappear. I mean, basically everything's going to remain pretty much as is. Obviously, when the time comes, and we will communicate this very heavily, that there will be, some sort of token swap that you'll need to do. We will set up a platform very similar to what we did with WOMI, and then you'll be able to swap your existing Omi for the new ERC20 Omi, and everything's just going to be business as usual. So don't, I've seen a couple of comments out there that, oh, doom and gloom, but the reality is it's just going to be the same. Yeah. We're just going to be on a far more interoperable network that is far more open to, exchanges, interoperability, and just a massive community. So overall, I think it's, very positive.
Absolutely. And I mean, token swaps are reasonably common in crypto. It's not an unheard of thing. And maybe we'll just take a moment to reiterate that there will undoubtedly be scam sites that pop up at the same time. So, we will continue to put that message out there and make sure that people are finding the legitimate resources, but just put that into your awareness now and just understand that it will happen. So we'll continue to work together to avoid those. All right. It's a long list, gents, but we're definitely getting there. I know that there's been quite a lot of app developments. So I guess after all this, let's chat Veve. Dan, do you want to run us through some of the new rollouts that have hit the app or are about to hit the app in the next update and what people can expect?
Yeah, we've got some pretty cool things this time around. Obviously we listen to the community all the time. And in fact, it makes my job way easier because now the community is like, hey, this is what we want. We hate this. We love that. This part's kind of okay. Whereas up till now, it's kind of, myself and the internal team looking at the product and seeing, how we shape it. But having the feedback from the community is very, very helpful. So, and if something's not right in the app, I basically hear about it probably 0.01 seconds after it goes live. So, very, very good, live feedback. Yeah. So one of the main things that we have coming out in this new release is around the market and just how difficult it is now to perhaps find what you want. So one of the main changes coming in the next update is when you go into the market and you click on browse, there's never one of anything listed in the market, in this day and age. So when you click on a collectible that's listed, you come to what we call the multiples page, and that lists every single edition of a particular collectible type. Now, one of the recent updates we made in the last update was that we've sorted it from lowest price to highest price because previous to that it was just a complete jumble. Now, obviously, we've heard from the community, and even when I was in the app, I was like, what was I thinking? So now what we've done is we've broken that page up into two different tabs at the top. So number one, you can browse by default from lowest to highest, all the buy nows. And then in the other tab, you can browse lowest to highest price of all the auctions. So, even just testing the app this morning, like it just makes it so much easier, so much better to find what I want. I don't want to do an auction, boom, I'm straight there in the buy now. The other feature that we've added into the multiple listing screen is the ability to sort by, drumroll, editions. So you can now sort by edition. I know that's something that the community really wanted. As Dave mentioned before, I mean, even both of us know a lot of people who literally just collect one edition number. So this is going to make it super duper easy to go through and find that edition you want, whether it's buy now or whether it's auction.
Is there a way, just quickly, is there a way to be notified if a edition number you were looking for is listed, or is that something that we can add down the line?
Yes, we can absolutely add that down the line. Right now, our notifications module is actually undergoing a rebuild. Some of the community out there may have noticed that they don't get as many notifications as they used to do. For the reason being, we built the notification system for 20,000 users. It was one of the things back in the early days that was putting a bit of pressure on the server. So yeah, absolutely. Notifications are going to be coming back in a greater capacity. And then, yeah, things like that, the ability to get notified for a certain edition. In the future, we're also going to have the ability for you to make an offer as a user. You see someone post, hey, I'm boasting, I've got Dragon Girl Ultra Rare 888. You're going to be able to click on that and, make an offer to that user. You may not even be thinking of selling it until you get that right offer coming. So awesome. So a couple of other updates. I'm just referring to my list here because there's quite a few. As users know, we recently, put penalties into the market. It was something that we never really thought we would have to do in the first place. But in the same way that dog breeds get chastised, it's only ever sort of 5% or less of that community that, let's face it, has been a little bit douchebaggy. In order to protect our sellers and protect buyers, we added the market penalties in. So you don't pay for a listing, you do outrageous bids, you generally just try to disrupt the whole kind of market, you're now going to get blocked. And that's already been in place for a couple of weeks now. And, we've just seen it's had an amazing impact. We get very, very few complaints now about people doing crazy bids or whatever. Now, one of the issues that came up as part of that is that if you were bidding on multiple auctions and then you were locked out because you didn't pay, and the other auctions that you were bidding on then ended and you won, you obviously weren't able to pay for that, and then your market block got extended by a certain number of days. So what we've done now is we've just limited it to it'll only ever be 3 days. To be honest, it actually doesn't really happen very much now. I think our users out there are very aware that, that there are penalties in place. And as I say, for the most part, it's not, 95% of the users use it in a legitimate fashion.
Yeah.
Now, so one of the other things that we've added in is just rate limiting in the app. And basically what that means is that, we know on the technology side how long it takes someone to bid for a bid on an auction, or how long it takes someone to write a comment. And so the whole idea with the rate limiting is really to minimize the, people who are trying to, and again, this is the 5% looking at you, who are using bots or using emulators, to try and get gains. So the first part of that was to build in this rate limiting so that like every second it can't just be hammering the app to place a bid. We know it can't be done in that amount of time. So that's the whole idea around rate limiting. Secondly, just to touch on the bots and emulators, it'll either be this current version of the app update or the one coming early next week, is that for the most part, bots and emulators will be eliminated. There are certain things we've done in the back end that are going to basically prevent any of those users from, or any of those apps from getting access to the app. If you are using a bot or you are using an emulator or you're doing something dodgy, you basically, when you try to log into the app, it's going to say your device is not accepted. So again, just all of these kind of efforts we're going through to help clean up the market, make it more fair. Oh God, time's running out again. We better hurry up. And we'll give you some more updates when that comes through. Just quickly to duck through here, we also had some fixes go into the Omi balances. There was a couple of users that were having some Omi balance issues. That's now been fixed up. Same with gem transactions. I think what it was is that I'll have to go back and look at the issue, but the gem transactions in your gem transaction history wasn't taking into account the secondary market fee, which has all now been updated. There were a couple of users that weren't seeing the payment pending banner, which sits across the top of the app, when they have a payment due. That's now been sort of looked at. It was only a couple of instances that we were able to reproduce that, but made a couple of changes there. And that's pretty much it for what's coming out in this next update. And then Reese, as I think we touched on in the last community update we did, we've done a massive update to our rendering engine in the back end. So we've upgraded to the latest technology called URP, which is Universal Render Pipeline. This is heavily optimized for mobile, and it allows us to just do, far more cool stuff when it comes to, actually the coloring and the shading of the collectibles, such as we can add glows, we can add, very complex textures to get, different looks. And again, this is just in place because the next level of stuff the next collectibles we have coming are just a next level. So pretty excited to roll that out. Couple of things that are coming in next. Obviously, we one of the big things that was what got kind of lost when we did the big video, the photo editor update, is the ability to set a photo for your showroom. So what you're going to be able to do now is if you have a showroom, when you click the little I button in the bottom right corner to edit it, you'll be able to add a photo that you've taken within Veve to that showroom. So it just makes it look way more attractive on your collection screen. Also, when you share it on the feed, people can have a look. Because honestly, man, I don't know how some people's phones run with the amount of collectibles they have in their showroom. And honestly, credits to people who do that, because it must just take a hell of a long time.
Yeah, just plugged in the whole time, I think, just to yeah,
exactly. A couple of other quick things. Progressing really well on the accessory side for the showroom. We've the devs are doing the last little screens that are involved. Trevor and I have also been working on the showroom V2, which is the just a much better looking showroom. And honestly, I can tell you guys, you're going to be, hopefully, like I was, just blown away. I mean, it just looks so awesome. We will be posting a photo on vv.me in the next sort of day or so of the first sort of like how your showrooms are going to look in the Veve. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's just one little render, but I had to share it because it just looks really, really awesome. And what else? Let me just check my list again. Obviously, and as I mentioned earlier, the web platform is coming along really well. Really looking forward to getting that out because, as I say, I think the experience, have been able to go between mobile and go between web. I think it's going to be really, really, just advantageous to our users.
Absolutely. And so the first iteration of the web platform is more or less what you see in the app, right? You'll be able to use the same sort of features and just use it on the web.
Well, yeah. I mean, the web platform and the mobile app are basically the same product. The only thing is that they're just in two different interfaces. So everything that's delivered to you is all being delivered from the same back end, so to speak. So yeah, ultimately they will, for the most part, be the same.
Nice. Oh, that's a big mouthful of things that people can digest for a little while, I think. But everyone can see what's coming. And look, just before we sign off here, lads, to both of you, what are you the most excited about coming out soon? Is there something in particular that you feel like we'll get to a bit of over another hump, perhaps? Once this thing comes out, we'll look ahead to the next thing. Is there a moment there?
Well, Reese, we can't talk about any of the upcoming collectibles, so I can't really even answer that.
Fair enough. David, anything feature-wise then that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, the web version is going to be amazing. Really looking forward to it, and I think a lot of our we're going to be opening up new categories once the website comes out and the mobile. We're on second quarter Q2, so I really hope our audience really understand. We just need a little bit more time. The loading issue we had for the first season collectible took a lot of our resource, our talents, and thanks to all our team members, engineers, especially our CTO, pretty much everyone was working around the clock to get this fixed. We're nearly there. So now we've got other holes that we are patching up. We hear you. Major things on our thing, really about the Omi into the app again, the exchanges, and Trevor's doing a fantastic job bringing, I think we got 80 or 100 beautiful collectibles on the work at any one time. So it's going to be like clockwork. I think what I'm really looking forward to, one more thing, is that we are going to start to regionalize a lot of contents from different parts of the world. So I think our audience from France, for example, is going to be very happy. We got Greater China market, we got Japanese content, Korean market. We got a mixture of cool stuff on the work. And please do keep in mind, a lot of the stuff that you see today that is in the app has actually been in the works for a number of years. Some of these licensors we have been working with for countless hours, between myself and Dan. We travel to see them. And to get it all perfect, to get it to where it is today, it does take a lot of energy and a lot of work. So we just need time to breathe a little bit more. And we're very excited, and just stay on and believe in us, and we'll show you what we have got coming.
Absolutely.
Stay calm and keep collecting.
Yeah, that's it. That's the next shirt. We'll get it made.
Yeah.
No, look, I think everyone can appreciate that. Everybody knows how hard, and how much work has gone into this platform and the ecosystem just to bring it to this point, with so many moving parts and so many different stakeholders, whether they're collectors or Omi holders, or everybody has their own wants and needs from the success of this company and platform, and so far I think we're doing a job well done, lads. Should be
Thanks, Reese.
work that's
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, it's good. Take that home. All right, gentlemen. I think that'll do us for today. Thank you both very much for being here. I look forward to sharing this with the community, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there we have it, man. This just came out today, brand new. And yeah, he said there's more people buying Omi than people selling it. The price will go up. But if no one is buying Omi but instead buying gems, the price won't go up even if Omi is burned. But yeah, like that's true. And that's why I don't really care about people buying Omi right now. All I care about is the burns, because once the burns start happening, we'll get buybacks from Veve themselves. So it's going to be less tokens in circulation, and then Veve is going to be doing buybacks. That's why I don't really care how many investors are here. As long as I'm buying at these prices, eventually it'll come. Obviously, it's longer without investors because we don't have that those investors buying up the Omi. But then again, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool. I'm cool with my position. I'm patient. I know that as long as the burns happen and bring that circulation down, the coin is going to become more valuable because the coin is needed. The token is needed to run Veve, to operate Veve. So, yeah. But yeah, this is sick. A lot of great information in this video. A lot of great gems, man. Like, a lot of great gems. I know a lot of people are going to be upset about not having a new exchange and stuff. Like, people just really want this thing to blow up in the crypto world. The more I learn about the project, the more I learn about what's coming. I don't want it to blow up in the crypto world that quick, to be honest. I want to keep securing. I want to keep securing more bags. Honestly, I only ever wanted 1 million Omi, but now I'm starting to, I want to go after some bigger numbers, to be honest, especially at this price point right now. So yeah, I'm excited with where we're at. I don't really want the crypto space to go and blow this thing up too much right now. That's not personally what I'm interested in. I'm heading towards 2 million Omi. There's always going to be investors in this project. Like, the people crying right now, they aren't really real investors. Like, investors don't expect their money to move this quick. Like, people just really thought that this was going to be Dogecoin. That's the long and short of it. People thought this was going to be some type of Dogecoin. I wonder if it's possible for Omi tokens to burn to zero. If so, what happens then? They can decrease the burn rate. They can lower the burn rate and things like that. They're not going to. It's always going to be managed so it won't just zero out or something like that. And I'm not sure. I think that question was asked before and they answered it. I forgot what was said. I forgot what was said about that, but yeah. Your bro-in-law has 11 million Omi. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be happy with this project, man. A lot of people are going to be happy in the long run. Just got to be patient and hold. Like, you got the Dogecoin Shiba Inu fans who don't want to be patient. Talking about the app is dead when it's just getting started. Like, NFTs in general are still being doubted right now. NFTs in general are still being doubted. Like, just like electric cars was at first, and just like Bitcoin was at first. Like, it takes time for certain things to happen. But we all know that the world is moving digital. Like, it's moving digital with or without people. So they're going to be forced to get on the project eventually. I have 40 million. Damn. Oh, y'all here big balling. Y'all here with the big bags. But yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. This was a great video. A lot of great information. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy learning about Veve and Ecomi. You all know that. But yeah, man. Good morning to everybody. Good night. I don't know what time it is where everybody's at, man. But yeah, thanks for joining me, watching this. Hopefully y'all excited, man. I know this got me excited. I learned a lot that I didn't know that they had going on. Some stuff I knew. But yeah, we're heading up. We're heading up. We're about to start seeing some amazing things, and I'm excited. So I'm just along for the ride, man. But hopefully you all have a good day. And yeah, I'm going to catch you all a little bit later. More videos going to be coming soon. But yeah, for now, peace out, y'all.